When is the right time to contact a pastor and their spouse? Since the pastor holds places of esteem in the church, you should use the right title to show respect. You can make a good impression on this important community figure and their partner by properly addressing formal correspondence, sending casual correspondence and talking in person. So, we are going to watch about the how to address a pastor and his wife.
Method 1. Addressing formal envelopes.
First is use the title, the Reverend, on formal envelopes. If your pastor's name is Mark Smith, you would address your envelope, the Reverend Mark Smith. Gender does not matter. The title is the same.
Step 2. Include degrees for any pastors with doctorates.
List the pastor's degree at the end of the name, or add, drive, after the religious title. This ensures that you give the pastor their full formal title based on their vocation and education.
Step 3. Address the spouse separately with any appropriate titles.
Use Mr. or Ms. whichever is most appropriate. Address the spouse of the pastor after the pastor on the envelope. If the pastor's spouse has another title that is more appropriate, you should use that title.
Step 4. Find out if the congregation is historically African American.
In many black churches, the wife of the pastor is known as the First Lady. Consult with a member of the congregation to see if the church uses this custom. Finally, factor in military rank when addressing a formal letter. Use the person's military title as well as the branch of the military they serve in. Place the spouse before the pastor if they are member of the armed services. For example, you would address a pastor and his wife who is a colonel.
Method 2. Sending emails or other casual correspondence. First is use pastor to address Protestant pastors.
Pair pastor with the pastor's full name for leaders of Protestant denominations in everyday correspondence. Casual communication such as emails and quick handwritten notes don't require the etiquette and formality of event invitations. Step 2. Use Reverend to address Catholic priests of all denominations. Use the title Reverend with the priest's full name in informal correspondence. This will ensure that you are showing respect. But this more casual form of communication doesn't require the ceremonial, the on formal envelopes.
Step 3. Use casual abbreviations if desired.
If it suits you and the message you're writing, you can abbreviate Reverend to Rev. Pair these abbreviations only with the pastor or priest's last name. This is a very casual way of addressing the clergy. Finally, address the spouse with their normal title and full name. Use abbreviated everyday titles, such as Mr. and Dr. with the spouse's full name. There is no need to include academic degrees after the name or branches of the military, if applicable.
Method 3. Talking in person.
First is address Protestant pastors as pastor with their last name. In person, it is best to keep things respectful but casual. Call your Protestant pastor, pastor, and then their last name. Step 2. Address Catholic priests as father with their last name. Some parishes like to keep things very casual, in which case the priest may simply go by father and his first name. You can ask your priest what he prefers to be called to avoid any confusion. Step 3. Use the spouse's typical title with their last name. For example, you might call a pastor's husband, Drive Johnson, if he is a dentist. Address the spouse of the pastor as Mr. or Drive, and their last name, whichever is most appropriate.
Finally, switch to a first-name basis if requested.
It is most important to show the pastor respect as a valued community member. It is then acceptable to apply the same rule to their spouse, as they have indicated the level of formality they prefer.
We hope it is useful to you. Please subscribe to our channel to upskill yourself.